All right, everyone, welcome back into another Fantasy Golf video. Going to be breaking down my 5 favorite outright bets here for the Masters tournament. Let's go ahead and get into it. Now, guys, I do think it's important to kind of just do a recap from last year. So last year was extremely easy for the outright winners in the Masters and including the Players Championship with all the top players winning. So like the average 9 to 5 mile rank of the winners was 2.7. Okay, so very good there. So obviously Scotty win the Masters last year. You had Bryson win the U.S. Open, which good they did that because I had Xander Schauffele winning the PGA Championship, which one of the best pictures I think ever taken in golf, or just one of the best moments, especially last year, was like just the face of Xander kind of having that relief and just that moment of I finally did it. Just the look on his face was pretty awesome. But him winning the PGA was awesome. And then the Open Championship. All those golfers were golfers that were expected to play well and ended up doing so. Now, last year, and so although last year was easier to predict for the majors, that's not to say necessarily that this year will be. But that being said, we are getting golfers that are coming in with good enough form to be able to target those golfers where we feel very confident about their prospect to win. And one of the clear-cut options is going to be Collin Morikawa. Now, some of you guys are probably going to wonder, what about Scotty? What about Rory? If you want to place the bets on those guys, you can certainly do that. They are less than 10 to 1. That's really up to you guys if you want to do that. Scotty is not playing nearly as well as he was last year, although he's still playing really well. He's still going to be the best play. And Rory has been extremely hit or miss at this tournament. So if you guys want to be on Rory, you can. But in terms of the number that we're getting and in terms of the profile of golfer that we're getting, Collin Morikawa is just simply the best option after those two. Okay, Collin Morikawa has been in tremendous form, having a 10th, 2nd, 17th, 2nd bad finish, and then 2nd. So really right there in terms of breaking through and winning. He probably, in most years, he would have won at the Century Tournament of Champions, except for the fact that Hideki just went on and played extremely well. Of course, history-wise, has been phenomenal as well. This is a tournament where we typically want to be targeting golfers that have good course history, and Collin Morikawa certainly has that. So he's had 3 straight top 10 finishes at this tournament, and this has really been some of the best golf that he has played heading into the Masters, maybe ever. Honestly, he's playing extremely good golf right now. And then on top of that, guys, he is the 2nd best staff and the 3rd best specialist. So in case you guys aren't familiar, the specialist data is pulling in all the unique characteristics for that week's tournament and putting into one data point. So like fast greens, Georgia as like a location, the type of greens that they're playing on, harder scoring track, all that stuff is going into it. Courses, all that stuff is going into it to make one kind of unique data point. And so Collin Morikawa 3rd best there. And then staff fit wise, so looking at the key stats that you need to have to be successful at the Masters, he ranks out 1st in the field in birdie to bogey ratio, and he ranks out 1st in the field in stroke gain approach. Very good there. And he's not terrible in stroke gain around the green, total driving, and maybe even could be a little bit better there, I guess, but still not terrible. Top 20, we'll take that there. So yeah, just across the board, he's kind of an easy click, honestly. And then from there, it does get a little bit more difficult. Like you could just go Morikawa, Rory, Scotty, and just be done with your betting card. Maybe you toss in one live golfer if you guys want to go that route. But we're going to go ahead and get into some pretty good number bets as well from this point on. Okay, and so from there, guys, we are looking at Justin Thomas to be the next best bet. Now, Justin Thomas has been someone that has been kind of streaky as well recently. Okay, so we look at his recent form, having a 2nd place finish, and then he's also finished 9th, 6th, and 2nd. So 4 top 10 finishes over his past 7 starts. Obviously, really good stuff there. This year, he's been a little bit hit or miss. And so he is someone that, even if you look at his course history as well, been very hit or miss. Really one desirable finish with a top 10 finish at this tournament 3 years ago. But the thing with it is, like Collin Morikawa, he really hasn't been in this good a shape heading into the Masters in quite some time. And so the fact that we get a golfer that has finished top 4 or top 10 4 times in his past 7 starts is pretty elite. He also is going to be a top 5 staff fit as well. Not the best specialist. The issue with JT is that he is hit or miss. Like honestly, if he does end up winning, it's probably going to be a come from behind win like his PGA Championship a couple of years back. That being said, I do like the number that we're getting on him, 22 to 1 on most books. Feel pretty good getting to him there. Now, Patrick Cantlay is going to be the next golfer that I'm going to talk about, guys. Patrick Cantlay is very interesting. So he's playing at the Valero Texas Open. He is someone that maybe even could potentially win that tournament. So as I'm recording this video, it is on Saturday. The Valero Texas Open is going. He is currently playing well there. I kind of want him to just finish top 5. That way we get him coming in great form, even more so, because we look at his current form, it has been pretty solid. Like there's nothing concerning form wise. We would like a little bit more upside from him. Like his best finish recently was a top 5 finish, which is fine. We'll take that. It's not like he's in bad form. He's still in the 5th best form in the field. Just want a little bit more upside out of him. And included on that is the fact that he really hasn't had an upside finish at the Masters over the past 4 years as well. That is a little bit of a concern with him as well. Going to be a good specialist though, 8th best staff in the field. And really the thing with the Masters is you just need to get competitive rounds on the Masters. The more you play it, the more you figure it out. And so he is someone that has obviously gotten enough rounds under his belt to the point where he should feel comfortable. He should be ready to go. And again, if we get a very good finish out of him at the Valero Texas Open, I'm going to feel a little bit more confident with him as an outright bet. Now, the thing with Cantlay is he is one of the best players in the field. Like, we just know that, right? Maybe not the best course history. We're kind of betting on that to get better, but you can get him at 40-1 on most books. I mean, that is pretty darn crazy number there for Patrick Cantlay. I'm happy to take him at 40-1. And now from there, guys, one player that really is probably a better option just on paper compared to some of the other golfers like JT with his kind of spiky form and, you know, not the best course history. And then Patrick Cantlay, kind of the same thing as well. We're great form, I guess, maybe lack of upside recently with only top 5 finishes, like I mentioned, and not the best course history. Russell Henley has all of that. Okay, he won recently for us. He was an outright bet hit for us there. He has finished 6th, 5th, 10th, and 4th over his last 9 starts. So he's had 5 top 10 finishes over his past 8 starts, including a victory. And course experience-wise as well, guys, he does have a top 5 finish at this tournament as well. He's a Georgia guy with Georgia ties, so we'd like to see that aspect there from him as well. Not the best half, only going to be ranking out 15th in the field, which that is a little bit concerning for sure. We look at key stat number 3, which is strokes gained approach. Really lacks there. That is a very big concern, but you would expect him to kind of turn up and be fine there in that department. At least should be peppering greens at the very least. He is the 5th best specialist in the field as well. So going back to, you know, kind of looking at all the unique characteristics for this tournament, 5th best in the field there. So that bodes well for him as well. Really like the number that you can get on him as well. You can get him at 80-1 on Bet Online. Now, a lot of people aren't betting on that. I get that. On some sites, he is still available at 70-1, which to me are good odds there as well. And then, guys, just speaking of Bet Online as well, we are getting Keegan Bradley at 135-1 on Bet Online. Now, that is a crazy number. Okay, they're definitely, I think, just trying to get some bets in. But Keegan Bradley does rank out extremely well right now. Okay, so he ranks out 5th best in the 9-to-5 model. This will be updating next week once we get the Valero Texas Open stats coming in, and once we get some of the Vegas data coming in a little bit more so, like the outright odds for all sports books, the placement bets, made cut percentages as well from Vegas. That'll all be updating more on the, you know, official 9-to-5 cheat sheet. Right now, guys, this is on the PGA tab number 2, where if you go to the original one, the PGA tab, that's set for the Valero Texas Open, which does do, you know, a little bit more data wise. The PGA 2 tab is just for us to get a good snapshot of the preview of the week. Typically that's used for like secondary events that are going on or DP Tour events, but still we can get a good idea of it. And so regardless, Keegan Bradley is going to be a great value. That's not going to change. Now, he is someone that is playing at the Valero Texas Open as well. Probably need a little bit more from him if we're going to feel good about this. Like if he does end up finishing top 15 at the Valero, then we're going to be comfortable still betting on him. So if you guys are someone that's watching this after the Valero Texas Open, you could take that into account. But he does have fine course experience here, 2 top 25 finishes. I'm fine with that. Chances are you could just be betting on him to top 30 instead. But would it be too crazy to see him win? I would say no. He is someone that has won somewhat recently at the BMW Championship several months ago, but he did continue that solid form, showing us another top 10 finish somewhat recently as well, with a 5th and 6th place finish mixed in there as well. So all good stuff there. A fine staff fit as well. Ranks out top 10 in the field and also a top 15 specialist in the field. So all things are looking pretty darn good for Keegan Bradley. Now, if Keegan Bradley is going to win, I don't think he's going to be someone that like wins it, if you will. I think it'd be more someone else losing it, where it kind of just falls into his hands. We see this all the time with Keegan, where he might get himself into contention, but then he chokes it away. We would probably need him trailing, get a lead, late on Sunday, being like the 4th group out, and just have a really low round going. That's the scenario where I see him winning. It'd be someone else losing it rather than him winning it, but still 135-1, and wanted to call out those odds for you guys. Again, you could probably just place, top 30 bet if they have that market out there, and feel pretty decent about that there as well. Now, guys, we're going to be having a lot more Masters content coming out throughout the week. Obviously, going to be a little bit more content on Monday once the Valero Texas Open is finalized. The point of that is the most recent start for golfers is always the most important data point that we have coming in each week. So we do want that data. So I'll be coming out with some more tiers picks, the best value picks, and everything like that. So be on the lookout for that, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. If you guys want access to any of the data available on the 9-to-5 website, make sure to head on over to 9to5sports.com. Get access to all the tools for fantasy golf and prize picks and underdog prop bets for just $10 a month, guys. Great value. Take advantage of that. Thanks for watching. Good luck. And as always, let's keep cashing.